ترايون ضيوف يا جماعة. تفضلوا يا جماعة.
قربوا ويانا قربوا.
لا والله ما يصير ذا الكلام، أنتم اللي ضيوفنا. تفضلوا.
تفضلوا يا جماعة تفضلوا.
خلونا نشرب.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله، حيا بالضيوف، هلا وسهلا. يا عيال يبوا الحمرة مسنتين عشان نحلبها بسرعة يا عيال، يلا بسرعة الضيوف يتريون. إلا قول وين سايرين؟
سايرين حارب ويا البو فلاح.
الله يحفظكم وينصركم إن شاء الله.
We set off once more. Each interminable empty day ended at sunset and started again at dawn. The others ate dates before we started, but I could no longer face their sticky sweetness, and I fasted till the evening meal. Conversation died with the passing hours, and boredom mounted within me like a dull ache of pain. On the 31st of January 1947, we reached Bai, where the others were waiting for us. We had parted from them at Mugshin on the 24th of November. It seemed like 2 years.
مرحبا وسهلا، الله حيهم. يا مرحبا بمبارك، يا مرحبا بمبارك وربعه، يا هلا وسهلا.
السلام عليكم. حياكم. يا هلا اهلا بخير. الله يخليك.
ماشي خبر.
الله يسلم.
خبرونا عن
خبر خير، كل شيء بخير.
جماعة سامحونا، ترى الجماعة فشلونا فيكم وفضحونا فيكم وتركوا مبارك عند رملة الغابة ويونا. نرجوكم سامحونا يا جماعة.
مسموح.
جيتك عزيزة يا شيخ، يعز الله مقامك. يا مرحبا.
Many Englishmen have written about camels. When I open a book to see the familiar disparagement, I realize that the author's knowledge of them is slight, that he has never lived among the Bedou, who know the camel's worth. At Allah, or God's gift they call her, and it is her patience that wins the Arab heart. I have never seen a Bedou ill-treat a camel. Always the camel's needs come first. It is not only that the Bedou's existence depends on the welfare of his animals, but that he has a real affection for them. To Arabs, camels are beautiful, and they derive as great a pleasure from looking at a good camel as some get from looking at a good horse. There is indeed a tremendous feeling of power, rhythm and grace about these great beasts. They have different names for the different breeds and colours, for riding camels and herd camels, and a different term in each year of its life until it is fully grown. All camel's milk tastes slightly salty, and no Bedou drinks standing. They squat down to drink. Camel's milk is their food and drink. As long as there is plenty of milk, the Bedou want nothing more. These Bedou allow a camel to suckle her calf without interference for about 6 weeks. They then cover her udder with a bag, only allowing the calf to drink before they milk her in the morning and evening. They wean it after 9 months. A camel will remain in milk for as long as 4 years, provided she is not served by a bull. She may have as many as a dozen calves and has a working life of about 20 years. It was on this trip from صلالة to Makalla that I met this boy with a face of classic beauty. Rather sad and pensive in repose, it lit up when he smiled. His name was Salim bin Gabesha. Bin Kabina urged me to let him join us, saying he was the best shot in the tribe. He is my friend. For my sake, let him come with us. The two of us will go wherever you desire. I told him he could come and handed him one of the rifles. I returned to Arabia with the intention of crossing the western sands. I arrived in Makalla on the 3rd of November and stayed for a few days with a shepherd and collected the rifles and ammunition which I had left with him the year before. I went up to Sewum, where I stayed with Watts, the political officer. I sent a telegram to bin Gabesha to travel to Hadhramaut by aeroplane. In Hadhramaut, I spent the next 2 months travelling among the Sar. We went up to Raidat al-Sar, a mountainous cliff about 200 yards across, running through a green valley. On the cliffs we saw buildings, many of them empty. We were told many of their inhabitants had died in the Great Famine in 1943. The valley was green with crops and trees. The Sar, many of whom were collected in the Raidat to harvest the crops, had heard of my wanderings in southern Arabia and welcomed me with great friendliness.